Asaad in Vortex Pinnacle was a particularly scary boss right at the release of Dragonflight Season 2 due to one particularly counterintuitive mechanic that's gotten easier since. Now, I felt like my friends and I had to talk through it to wrap our heads around it. Then, once we did, the boss was pretty straightforward. Now, first up, he does a chain lightning, so you need to be ready to spread with it so it doesn't chain to other players. Its radius is marked by a big blue circle around the targeted player. Easy. He'll summon adds that do AoE damage to your party. Now, when these come up, everyone needs to hard swap to them to get rid of the AoE damage. But here's where the slightly counterintuitive mechanic comes into play. While you're killing each add, the boss will cast Static Cling. If you're touching the ground when he finishes his cast, you'll get hit for a bunch of damage and be rooted to the ground. Now, the idea here is to jump right as he finishes the cast. Now, obviously, you need to watch the boss's cast bar and jump when appropriate. But that's not always intuitive since you're currently targeting and focused on burning an add that's doing a bunch of damage to your group. Now, thankfully, they've since added this very prominent lightning effect all over the ground to let you know you need to glance over at the boss's cast bar. Another great way to set yourself up for success with this mechanic is to enable cooldowns and announcements for it in Deadly Boss mods, which I use, or Little Wigs, which I'm sure has an equivalent. What I've done is gone into DBM settings, expand the Cataclysm menu because that's where this boss was originally from, go down to Vortex Pinnacle, click on Asaad, and then for the Static Cling ability, I added a voice countdown for the Static Cling cooldown to warn me when it's coming, and most importantly, added an air horn effect to the show special announcement for when to jump option. Combined, these two are pretty hard to ignore. And I never really miss a jump, even if I'm not looking at Asaad. There's also some pretty solid weak auras that can help you backtime your jump. I've linked to one in the comments below. Now, on tyrannical weeks, the damage from Static Cling can very easily one-shot you, and even if it doesn't, it's going to set you up to die due to the next mechanic. Asaad will start to channel an unstable grounding field. Basically, he'll start drawing a triangle on the ground. Now, this triangle works very similar to the dampening fields throughout the dungeon, reducing the damage you take. When he's done drawing the triangle, he'll teleport to the center of it and nuke anybody who isn't in it to death. Right after this is over, be ready to immediately spread again for the chain lightning, and from here, the boss pattern repeats with one twist. Starting with the second cycle through the boss mechanics and each succeeding cycle afterward, the boss will now do 2 Skyfall Nova adds and 2 Static Cling casts in between each unstable grounding field. Now, on tyrannical weeks, we typically don't use CDs immediately on pull, but instead save them for the first add. Then we'll Bloodlust on the second and third adds, which will come in during that second cycle of boss mechanics. For additional cycles through the mechanics, we then just let CDs come back up again and use them on the adds. So thanks so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and feel free to support me on Patreon to help us bring you more great content. And tell us, what spooky bosses do you want to see next? Let us know in the comments, and maybe we'll just cover it next. Until the next video, peace.